I think Mighty has to ban Greymane. Do not let that through again. Sonya's still in that phase. Dyeing her hair white and weird makeup and whatever.
Yeah, those high school.
High school Sonya.
High school Sonya.
High school Sonya. Mom doesn't understand. Mom, I'm 13 and 8. I can stay out with my friends late. Mom, look at my win rate. I'm old enough.
Yep. Cassia ban, of course. I think L5 actually wants to take Greymane after watching the second ban now. I don't think they were initially thinking about it because it was very obvious that Mighty will take Greymane when it's open before the second ban phase.
Yeah, I like the Cassia ban actually, because this is leaning towards the comp we saw in Game 1.
And this basically, it's telling Mighty that we're about to play Greymane, so please ban. Please use your ban card to ban Greymane because we have something else in plan. This is what I'm getting right now. So Mighty's thinking, do we just, or do they have something else? Because first pick Lucio as also us got us pretty surprised.
I think Greymane is the safe ban. Don't take a risk here. I'm not a fan of this actually.
Well, they do have a strong solo lane, so they just want to remove the other one. I think that also gives power to Sonya, but
they drafted Tyrael with this comp last time they ran it, and there's no indication that L5 would draft Tyrael here. They could take Tyrael if L5 took Malthael, you know? Like, this is still a strong ban, right? I'm not going to say it's the wrong ban, or sorry, that it's a bad ban, but I think it is the wrong ban. I think that now you give SC the ability to play Rhaegar they grab Rhaegar in the Greymane, flexible final picks for their solo lane, and sure, now they don't have Malthael, but I don't think they're really all that concerned about it. This is not going to be a Malthael draft from L5. And I don't think that Mighty and I are on the same page as to what their problems lie in. I think the problem lies in that SC's Greymane is so good that he is just dominating each and every team fight.
Maybe they're thinking just taking away Uther. Taking away the armor on the Greymane is enough.
Well, look at that.
But they will probably have another support coming out because it's double warrior, the front line, ETC, along with Arthas now. And Sonya will be having a tougher time compared to game number 1.
And guess what? This time, they don't even have the Cassia that they had to try to deal with the Greymane in the beginning parts of those fights on Sky Temple. They don't even have that tool. And L5 has the Greymane again. And they could pick Rhaegar as this final pick. The fact they didn't pick it yet is...
Still do Lunara as their usual. Of course, they're also looking for Joker's hero.
Yeah, I just don't think that is going to be good enough. Because they've consistently shown in both first games that it simply was not. The Cassia in Game 1 won them the first few fights, but in the later game, the positioning was better for L5. SC dominated, and they won that last fight, even though they lost the boss. So it didn't matter. And then in Game 2, again, SC was the problem. Lunara wasn't good enough. And L5 seems very confident against Lunara, even more willing to ban the Cassia than it. Diablo is going to be the main tank, and it will be Hammer. So no Lunara here, but solo DPS Hammer hyper carry. How many times have we seen that work?
With Sonya, but I worry a little bit because there's a speed boost on the other side, and those thrusters can only last for a few seconds instead. There's not much of poke on the other side, which is also pretty decent, I would say, for Sergeant Hammer.
I'm not sure if this can work. Like, I don't want to judge it yet. I think this is not going to be
Let's see. Is this the first time we're going to see the rework Chromie against the Sergeant Hammer?
Nah, I don't think so. That would be cool though. I think they're just going to take a second support just to make sure SC can really win hard.
Ooh, Sonya's feeling sick right now.
Yeah, she got that from me. I'm sorry. I'd say the Rhaegar is just a solid all-around choice. Nothing bad about it. They're thinking about something else. Second DPS, I think, is what they're considering. Stukov.
Silence.
So Stukov will out-heal the slow damage output of Mighty. And I was going to say, I was pretty sure it was going to be the Napalm Strike. Sorry, I couldn't think of the heroic name for a second. I was thinking it was going to be Napalm, but now it's Stukov. I think it has to be BFG because Stukov will just out-heal everything with Lucio there too. I really like, to be honest, the composition of L5. They have a hyper carry that's designed to be a hyper carry that's been consistently throughout the series playing much better than Joker has in similar roles. Now Joker is going to have to play Sergeant Hammer and somehow try to win the longer fight there with double support. It's never really been a thing before. Find out if Mighty can make it happen, though, and take the lead as we head into Infernal Shrines for game number 3. In blue, L5, Hooligan on E2C, SC on Greymane, Junga on Arthas, STE on Lucio, and Swoy on Stukov.
And on the other side, Mighty, Joker on Sergeant Hammer, BDG on Sonya, Good on Diablo, Nasang on Uther, Magi on Taslar. I honestly think that Joker was a little afraid of picking Lunara once more because L5 has a lot of tools. It did not really work well against the Greymane of L5, so they went around.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying.
Okay, so this is a bait one, as Sergeant Hammer is also attempting, actually not attempting anymore.
They don't have vision of where everybody is, so she can't go push anymore. I think that you're on the money for what they wanted to do.
And again, attempting, but going back.
Well, they have vision now, so looks like she's just going to safely clear bot. She's not going to actually try to poke the towers.
That's my AI tactic, so I know exactly what's going on. 200%.
Joker is always going to be the target. It's very good that he was able to get the majority of this wave, because now he's like zoned out of EXP range for a moment. He was going to end up getting all of it regardless, but L5 just looking for a pick, and then otherwise zoning him out of experience range. Now that they have the wave cleared, they just go over here to get this one, and again zone Magi out of experience range. These things do add up when you miss a minion or two over several lanes. But because of how experience works in Heroes, though, you don't have to get last hits or anything like that, so they will get the majority of the experience anyways. But if you miss a dead minion, it does hurt you.
We'll see how well Sergeant Hammer works in this comp, as he's been doing some more than some damage.
That was all about the Diablo right there. Could have been any DPS to get that pick, as very hyper-aggressive play from L5 gets punished. First blood goes to Mighty, to Joker, in fact, of course. I don't think that the... I don't think... Oh, hold that thought. Okay. Thought we might see another dive in there.
What are you thinking?
The thing I'm not thinking is that we can give credit to the Hammer for that pick. I mean, again, that would have worked with the Gul'dan, that would have worked with Sylvanas. Like, that was just really good play out.
That would have worked with the Lily.
Would have worked with the Gazlo.
Yes.
Like, you know, it would have been, no matter what, that would have been a kill there, okay? With an Abbott they're slapping, maybe you look the other way, but now the respawns come through, and we are going to see this Shrine contested here. And this is where it gets scariest for Joker. He has to stay super far back and do max range pokes with Siege mode, which is exactly what he's going to do here. Old Korean strategy here with the Sergeant Hammer, just kind of poke at range. As long as you're protected by your tank, then you can, as a tank, Siege tank, siege up and do that extra damage. But
now
when the dive comes through,
here, there's a CC with the power slide. Good is isolated alone, and he is focused and taken out from the beginning.
Now there's no front line here. BDG is going to die so fast, and Joker needs to have sieged up 2 seconds ago. Don't have a route for him, though. He's going to actually try to get a lot of damage done here. It was a great power slide, and that is going to be the pick. So totally one fight here. Once the tank line is gone, Joker just doesn't do enough burst damage to punish the tank dive. He just only did slow damage, and everyone on L5 was at half health when Diablo died. But it doesn't matter because they have 2 supports and the best slow healing in the game pretty much with Stukov and Lucio.
That team fight seemed like one team had communications, one team had mics on, one team had mics off.
Yeah.
L5 was focusing, they were onto the right target every single time with the shot calling. Mighty seemed like they were lost, and Sergeant Hammer's damage was basically cancelled by all the Lucio healing coming out.
Yeah, certainly. Just not enough damage, no burst. Not until BFG comes out, at least. So let's see if Mighty can stabilize here. Then we'll keep this fort alive. The top lane has been won by Sonya as well, which has got them some extra experience, some extra structural damage up there, which is not easy to win, actually, against Arthas and Sonya. But because of that extra damage done, the EXP deficit isn't as big as it would have been otherwise.
We see a lot more W builds coming out from Stukov. It used to be just lurking our upgrade at level 1 all the time. Seems like things are changing, especially in Korea.
Yeah, I think it's just because of how these fights are going to go and how long they're going to be. You get more value out of that than you do out of the silence. This is actually a really dumb question, but I don't know. Do you know if you're in siege mode and you're silenced, can you unsiege? I actually don't know. Because I guess technically that's an ability, right? And if you're silenced, you can't cast abilities. I don't know if you can unsiege or not. Someone will probably tweet that at us or something. We'll find out. But that's another cool factor for picking Stukov into the Sergeant Hammer. If you can't unsiege, then I mean, you what are you gonna do? It's pretty rough. So something to consider.
I actually do not know.
I don't know, because like I've never...
I played somewhat of a tank, but not against the Stukov.
I usually don't siege up in places where I could be silenced, and I haven't played much Hammer since Stukov came out, so that's like one of those things where I'm like, actually, I don't know. I'm guessing you can't, but I'll have to check, look into that one. Anyways, Good is going to get slowed here and silenced and blown up.
I don't think it matters for Sergeant Hammer too much. I think it's more for Diablo and also Tasta when you want to escape from all the damage just like this happening.
So this is going to be level 10 coming in here for L5 right before the shrine, so that's so important. And this push is just continuing to get value. They're going to clear up this camp. The reason why Good was picked was because the members of Mighty were not willing to stop doing the camp to save him. And then their camp got destroyed. So we're seeing level 10 is just on the horizon here, and now it's complete. And so what we're seeing is an attempt to split push down here with Sergeant Hammer. This is risky. He does have thrusters. They're just going to go for Magi instead because of those thrusters. I think that he just barely might go down here. Yep. Coming in, trying to get the counter kill here. And March of the Dead is going to keep Jungha alive. Very well executed here by L5.
He'll use the ghouls to heal himself up. At least Lucio didn't have to actually use the sound barrier right there to keep Arthas alive. Mighty down quite some EXP now, even after 10. And Stukov, Greymane, ETC just not picking their heroic. Maybe this is a thing coming out from L5 only. It seems like they're having a fun time just trying to hide what they're going to pick later on.
They took Napalm Strike too. It's very good for the objective. It will...
yeah, Siege Power is, of course, also to pick up all the numbers from the,
yeah, it's very good.
shrine.
It's very good for the objective. It's very good for poking. If you do get the objective, it's like incredibly powerful for how much siege potential you have, and it will vastly increase the value the Immortal will get while pushing. But it's very weak in terms of team fights because L5 will simply output enough healing to stop that. It's no burst. The BFG would have given them burst to potentially get picks. Divine Shield used here.
It has to be shield from all the silence coming out. Great shield timing coming out, and Diablo falls. Even the Punisher's doing tons of damage onto BDG, and he falls too.
You know it would be really good when two of the members of L5 are at 20% health? Burst damage, like an orbital BFG, or sorry, just a BFG. That would be that'd be pretty good. They don't have it though. And so, you know, Sergeant Hammer is just tickling everybody, and we're going to keep watching these team fights where I watch everybody on L5 go very low, and then Bio Kill Switch is activated, everyone goes back to full health, and everyone forgets that the first part of the team fight even happened, and then you look at Mighty's health bars, and they don't have sustained healing, they have Uther Burst, they have Tastar Shields, and then suddenly it's like, oh, well, everyone was on low health, and now everyone on L5 is on full health again, but Mighty doesn't have any health, and now they're dead. It's a problem.
And now ETC will be split soaking because of that stage dive. I think Polygon really realized after the game number 1. He picked Mosh Pit and didn't really use it until late game. Why not just use stage dive and try to out-soak the entire team when you're leading? That's exactly what they're doing now.
Okay, big arm swings coming out here. Good is caught.
Thanks to Swoy actually escaped that because of those arms.
Yeah, well, they still got the pick onto Diablo here. Looking for the boot pick, but Magi does have his dimensional shift. BG has to Hearth Home. And G-Clef, this just feels like I'm watching this slow and painful death of Mighty here. I think the draft that they chose was very well dealt with by L5. Okay, gets a root here on the hammer. Divine. Oh, man.
Shoot.
That was a thing that happened that we watched that was broadcast live on internet television. But it's okay. Because he might still die anyways.
Safeties.
Okay, that was a really good.
Oh, and a stage dive, and the parse light may catch them before
Does
the wall.
catch him. Oh my God! They still killed him
for the kill. Wow.
That still happened. That was really coordinated by L5. Hooligan the God. He dropped the beat on that one. Let's just say
he dropped the beat for sure, and he got extra soak on the other lane too. And of course, always safety first, but not all the time. I would say.
Well,
if he had Divine Shield there, he would have lived. Yes.
Yeah. Well, now this is potentially a keep shrine because of the wall going down there in the bot lane, and they have the Impaler camp that goes with it. So good diving pretty deep here. Does get body blocked. Divine Shield's not up for 25 more seconds because it was used earlier. I think he might be the first to die in this fight. The APOC is really well timed. That's going to buy them some time to get away.
Used for zoning for himself. Hooligan takes tons of damage from Sonya as the boops so that Hooligan can survive and beat. Meanwhile, Sonya is focused and not really healed so much. Divine Shield still on cooldown. That's the biggest thing.
Okay, this Flailing Orb did come out. They tried to actually lock him in there into the silence. Didn't work, but they still get the pick because he has no way to get out, no escape from all the slows. That boss push we were talking about is working now on the remainder of the gate on the keep wall. And they're just going to be able to come over here, clean this shrine, and the gate will already be down. The wave is going to be pushed. There's going to be so many supporting minions for this Punisher, which is, by the way, an Arcane Punisher, so worst case scenario for Mighty. And L5 is in fantastic position to just finish this game off.
I think by the time Punisher goes close to keep with the towers down, they will be hitting 16, especially with ETC pushing top lane, soaking in extra EXP. And when that happens, the keep may go down. Maybe the end of the game. Let's see a little more. They're trying to maximize this push with the camp even.
Okay. SDE is crazy, man.
Wow.
This time, last time it was Swoy, this time it's SDE just trying to push the boundaries of what Lucio can accomplish. So look at this, the minions, again, tank for this Punisher quite a bit. It's going in deep now, and it is an Arcane Punisher. He goes in this far, the Arcane spinners on the ground are going to add so much damage to this team fight, it's not even funny. And so Mighty is further struggling to position themselves against L5's onslaught. Keeps under attack. Look at those spinners on the ground. What are you going to do? It's, I mean, this is a terrible situation for Mighty, no matter which way you look at it.
The worst thing you do is spin with it. You spin the other way all the time, okay? And they do take the keep, and meanwhile, ESTC has been pushing. So extra EXP with the camp. We'll take the last remaining fort for Mighty.
Yep.
This is entire level gap, even more now.
Yeah, this is some global ETC we're watching, which did get them actually 2 picks in that last fight, that last global